Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is Monday and the markets were atrocious along with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll look at what's going on there. We'll also take a look at the miners. The miners were way down today. We got Bitfarms, DMG, Greenedge, Riot, BitDigital, CleanSpark, Hut 8, Iris Energy, and Sphere 3D reaching new 52-week lows today. It's a continuation from last week that we've had. Some of them were added today. Riot was one that was added today, along with maybe a couple others that were just new 52-week lows for this period. So it's not looking good. Then we got some problems appearing. So Marathon, we'll take a look at their numbers, at their mining numbers. I think they're accurate, but we'll discuss it. Mawson also will provide their October numbers. So we'll look at those. Those are way down. We'll dive deep into that one. Genesis, they're saying that they're not filing for bankruptcy anytime soon, but we'll take a look at the story there. And then Bitcoin, we have a lot of shorts getting into the market now, so we'll take a look at that as well. All right, and that is it. As always, not financial advice. For entertainment only, do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. I'm investing in the following coins and companies. As always, for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. All right, let's get into the markets. So S&P was down 0.39% today to 3,949. Dow Jones was down today 0.13% to 33,700. NASDAQ was down 1.06% to 11,553. And Bitcoin was down today, doesn't show it here because it's in the new day already. So it was down today 3.03%. It was down also yesterday, 2.58%. So we closed at 15,760. We had a low of 15,460 and a high of 16,279. So pretty big swings here today. And we are now at 15,861. Still not seeing anything good on the RSI here on the daily chart. Look at the 4-hour chart. We did wick down quite a bit here to 26. Last time we were this low, well, this was back in beginning of the month. It looks like around the 8th and the 9th that we were much lower on the RSI. Excuse me. And then we got, so if we were here, I mean, we were actually higher in price at that point. It seems like back then. On the 1-hour chart, same thing. We wicked down quite a bit here, not as low as prior here. Price was higher at that point. We wicked down as well, and we're lower in price. So it's not good. Right now, we're still looking bearish, especially if we have a lot of short interest in the networks. That's not going to help things out, and we may be going down even more. So, but we'll take a look at all those stories. Ethereum was similarly down for the day. It was down 3.03%. Oh, sorry, that's Ethereum. There we go. They were down 3% on the day. Yesterday, they were down 6.25%, so a little bit worse than Bitcoin. Daily RSI has coming down here a little bit. It's still higher than it was back here where price was about the same, it looks like. So we are higher in the RSI while the price is about the same, which isn't good, leading me to believe we're going to be possibly going down even more. Where do we end at? Nobody really knows. We're thinking maybe 14.5, 14,000, but we'll see where we actually hit the floor at. And we don't even know if that's going to be the floor, but that's kind of our next possible support line. We have been bouncing off of this 1100 mark here a little bit, so maybe that's our short-term support there for Ethereum, but we'll see. All right, let's take a look at the miners here. Annie was down 1.25% to 34 cents. Argo was down 7% today to 8 cents. BitDigital was down 12.46% to 87 cents. They were down a lot. The Bitfarms was down also 15.38% to 55 cents. Tomorrow, I'll probably buy some more. Bitfarms is probably CleanSpark. As you guys know, I dollar cost averaging into those stocks. So I'm falling behind on my dollar cost averaging, so I need to get into a little bit more as best I can. CleanSpark was down 11.4% to $2.02. Cores was down 6.36% to 16 cents. DigiHost was actually up 1.29% to 59 cents. DMG was down 6.67% to 14 cents. Greenedge was up 1.61% to 57 cents. Hive was down 10.71% to $2. Hut 8 was down 9.68% to $1.12. During the day, they were down like almost 15% down at the bottom of the day, and then they bounced up a little bit. Iris Energy was down 17.99% to $1.55. Luxfolio was up 12.5% to 4 cents. Marathon was down 17.14% to $6.19. They are about $1 away from their 52-week low. So it's not too far away. They're going to be getting there pretty close if they continue on this trend. I mean, you can see them here. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days in a row where they've been in the red, which isn't good. Mawson was down 4.08% to 35 cents. Riot was down 10.76% to $3.98. They reached their 52-week low today. New one, Solana was down 1.87 to 87 cents, and Stronghold was down 6.9% to 74 cents. So it's not good in the miners right now. We've seen this before. We've seen it after the 2017 bull run where the miners that were trading, Hive and I believe Hut 8 also, maybe a couple other ones, they went down to being penny stocks before everything settled down and we started going back up. So I don't know how far away from that we are this time around, but best strategy that I know is to dollar cost average into the bear market. And then hopefully we'll start going back up within the next year or so as we get closer to the halving event of Bitcoin next in 2024 in March sometime around there. Okay, let's take a look at the network hash rate. Like we always do, it, fell down a little bit here to 256, and it's back up to 261 right now as we speak. Okay, so it's still bouncing in between, I would say, 256 and somewhere around here of 271. It's kind of where we've bounced before, down and back up, and then we might be going back up a little bit, so we'll see. Okay, let's start out with crypto lender Genesis. So Genesis, crypto lender Genesis says no plans to file bankruptcy immediately. There's been some rumors and speculations out in the World Wide Web on the internet saying that they might be having some issues here, and here's the reason why. But here's what they said. We have no plans to file bankruptcy imminently. Our goal is to resolve the current situation consensually without the need for any bankruptcy filing, the firm said in an email statement to Reuters, adding it continues to have conversations with creditors. So they're trying to avoid bankruptcy, but we've heard that before. Now, we don't know if it's going to happen or not, but the likelihood of something like this happening has increased ever since what happened with FTX. A report from Bloomberg News, citing sources, said on Monday that Genesis was struggling to raise fresh cash for its lending unit and warning investors it may need to file for bankruptcy if it does not find funding. Last week, Genesis Global Capital suspended customer redemptions in its lending business, citing the sudden failure of Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange FTX. And on Thursday, the Wall Street Journal reported that Genesis had sought an emergency loan of $1 billion from investors before it suspended withdrawals. So it's not looking good. Possible problem for the community here in crypto. Contagion might be happening, continuing on from what happened with FTX. Okay, next, Bitcoin. So investors are shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum in record numbers. A CoinShares report shows that institutional investors are betting against crypto in the wake of FTX collapse. That's not good. That's going to push the price down even more, possibly. So more institutional investors than ever are betting on the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies going down. According to a Monday report from CoinShares, institutional investor sentiment was deeply negative last week, according to the report, as short product inflows represented 75% of the total inflows, the largest inflow on record. That's not good. That's a problem. That's going to push the price lower in, within the next couple of days, weeks. We don't know how long it's going to take. Let's see here if there's anything else. CoinShares, here's what they tweeted. So what is the crypto market sentiment this week? A deeply negative one with the largest inflows into short investments on record. Our head of research shares his latest insights. You can read all that data there. So the report said that the assets under management in crypto investment products also hit a 2-year low of $22 billion, suggesting an aggregate sentiment was deeply negative for the ASIC class. Okay, so there you go. It is not looking good for us right now. We may be seeing newer lows for Bitcoin, for the miners as well, if that happens. So we'll keep you guys posted on it. Next, let's take a look at Mara here really quick. So this is from Mempool Space, mining pool, Marapool. So this is supposed to be the pool that Marathon uses for their Bitcoin mining, which kind of looks to be accurate here. They did reach about 7.3 exahash in hash rate speed, it looks like, by their graph, potentially towards the end of October 23rd, it looks like, and they're going by 7 days on the charts here. So currently it's showing that they are at 4.18. I don't know how accurate this is. but we'll just go with what we do have for it. We have seen them go to 7 exahash, which is what they reported. And then have they been coming down lately? I don't know. We'll find out, obviously, when they report for November. But if this is true, this is concerning. The other part of this is we can see what they have been mining here for the month of November. And I pulled all this data in and I put it into my spreadsheet here just to kind of look at the numbers, see where they are averaging at. So this is for Marathon here. Let's scroll down here and I have the numbers. BTC price, there it goes. Okay, so here's the table from the mempool space. And I pulled in all the BTC mined, put it into the spreadsheet to see what they mined for so far for this month. So far they've mined only 307 BTC. On average, that equates to about 14.66 BTC per day. So estimated mining of BTC right now based on the 14.66 would get us to about 439.74 BTC in November. In October, they reported mining 615 BTC. That is a huge difference between the two there. And you can see that would be a decrease of about 28.5%, almost 30% being down for the month, which is kind of strange, given that, well, for one reason, it's colder climate right now, which leads me to believe, or which I would think they would be actually mining more, right? It's colder out. You don't have to curtail electricity because of it. Or maybe you do have to, well, that's the other part of it. They're down in Texas. If it gets too cold, then they may have to curtail because people need electricity to heat their homes. So that might be part of the reason there. The other reason could be with, unfortunately, Compute North. Maybe they're having issues with them. Don't know what's going on there. Like I said, we'll hopefully get some more information from them when they provide the November update, basically in almost a week now, week and a half or so. By the time it's going to be a week? Yeah, right around week and a half, we'll get that data, possibly. So maybe 2 weeks at most. Then we'll get the information from them, and hopefully we'll have some clarification in that as far as what's going on there. I'm hoping they're not shutting down miners because of electricity costs. If that's the reason, we would have to see what the electrical costs could possibly be if they're shutting down right now. If they are around 7 cents, I could see that happening. 6, maybe not. But it all depends on what Compute North is charging them, which we don't know for sure. Okay, so something to be mindful of. So I'll just leave it at that right now. I need more clarification from them before I start. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right, let's get into the other story that we have, which is Mawson. So Mawson provided a release today. They didn't put it out, or at least I haven't found it on like Yahoo Finance. They didn't put a press release out that way. They just put it into the SEC filing. And they also put it on as a tweet, which is how I found it today, and on their website as well. So one of the questions I have is, why didn't they put this out as a press release, going to like Yahoo Finance, other news aggregate sources as well? Maybe it's just to, I'm guessing it's probably just to save capital. I don't know how much it costs to put out a press release, whether it's a couple $100 or $1,000, whatever it might be, but it might be a way of saving capital that way, saving cash. But we'll go into this here. I actually got a PDF of it, highlighted the important parts of it, and we'll just go through it here. So let's get into the details. October mining Bitcoin self-mining energy market program and hosting colocation update. So self-mined Bitcoin produced only 53. That is a decrease of almost 50% from October. They did sell the facility that they had in Georgia to CleanSpark, which this is possibly the reason for the decrease. They sold also some miners to CleanSpark as well. And that's the effect that we're seeing right now, is the decreased production in BTC. Also, their self-mining installed capacity is now at half exahash, 0.5 exahash, which is 500 petahash. That is also as a result of selling the miners to CleanSpark. Okay, energy market program revenue approximately 1.8. So they actually made more on the energy market program than they did from their BTC mining. They reported here that they equivalent of 92 BTC from their energy market. So they had more revenue from, I don't know if it's revenue. I don't think you can count it as revenue. I think it's credits they get for it. I could be wrong on this. But they got $92 worth of credits, $92 Bitcoins worth of credits. which gave them the equivalent total Bitcoin production of 145 BTC. If you add the 92 and the 53 here, co-location is still pretty high. It's 2.1 exahash, which is a lot higher than their own. And typically, hosting isn't as profitable as self-mining. So that's interesting to see that they have a lot more co-location hosting otherwise. And let's see here. They go into the sale of Georgia assets here, which we've already covered in the past. Post-Georgia sale expansion and 2023 strategy. So this is what they're kind of planning on doing. As a result of the sale of certain assets at the Sandersville, Georgia facility to CleanSpark, the company intends to focus on the following activities in the fourth quarter of 2022. They're planning to expand Bitcoin self-mining and hosting co-location operations to 4.5 exahash by Q1 of 2023 and to our anticipated 8 exahash by Q4 of 2023. So here it would have been nice to know what is going to be their self-mining and what is going to be hosting. That would have been nice to know. And then we continue with the expansion of our 220 megawatt Pennsylvania facilities, where the company has low electricity, and we got a pop up here, low electricity costs and large-scale expansion opportunities. They continue with our energy markets program, which generates revenue and reduces overall cost of production. So that's all fine and dandy there. Next is secure portfolio of sites in our preferred geographies and jurisdictions for long-term digital infrastructure capacity. They are looking also to explore opportunities to expand our digital infrastructure business, which is good, and develop strategic partnerships and relationships with customers and communities, which is all fine and good. And then down here, this was a little concerning. Continue to explore further asset or development site sales to free up capital for deployment at our preferred sites, those sites which best meet Mawson's investment criteria. So they might be selling some other facilities if they got them elsewhere, not within Pennsylvania. But yeah, so that was a little concerning there as well. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them. And we'll also take a look at the month-over-month metrics, see how they fared now that we have the update for them. And where are they? Mawson, there they are. Okay, so Mawson has 82.7 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at 35 cents right now. Market cap at roughly 29 million. And the current hash rate, I have them at 512 petahash, but they said that they're at 500, so we're close enough to that. I did remove a lot of the miners, potentially that were either sold or are being transitioned over into their facility. Hodl position, they don't have anything there. So they did mine 53 BTC. That equates to about 1,041,450, roughly at the average Bitcoin price for October. That is a decrease of 48% from what they mined in September. So they have been doing relatively well at the beginning of the year. And then for some reason, things got a lot more difficult for them towards the summertime frame and now into October. So they were at 140 in January, 152 BTC in February. March was 170. April was 171. May was 185. June was 127. July was 90. August was 90. September was 102. So a little bit of an increase there. And then we half of that now currently. And you can see the revenue was pretty nice here. And I would say this would be the second quarter, and third quarter was low, but second quarter wasn't too bad. It was 5.8 million, 6.4 million, 7.7 million, 6.5, 5.3, and then we went down to 2.5, 1.9, 2, 2, and now we're going to be at 1. So that's hard. And let's take a look at the miners that we removed here. So we removed a lot of these miners that are over here. So the 77 terahash, 98 terahash miners, it looks like possibly that were removed, along with 88 terahash miners. And they do have miners over here that are also 90 terahash that are supposed to be coming in online. I'm guessing those are the ones that are going to be at the facility. I don't know this for sure, but this is how I kind of got to having them at about 500 petahash right now as it is. So that got us to the 1,040,000 roughly. And that's going to also hurt them going into November with prices coming down on Bitcoin. Right now, I have them at about 977,000. If they mine for the full 30 days, I did have them mining for about 27 days in October. There could be, when the sale went through on the Sandersville property, I think that was like around the 10th or 11th. So they might have been mining a little bit for that as well, which kind of helped them increase the numbers that these miners are represented as mining. But they could have possibly mined less time than I have it reported here, based on the amount of credits they're getting for electricity, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. November and December, we'll have to see how those are going to play out. And let me see here. They sold, let me see, CleanSpark here. I have it written down in their notes. They sold to CleanSpark. Mawson purchase was 557 petahash roughly. I took out from Mawson here, let me see here. Marathon, Mawson. I took out, how much did I take out? Petahash, I took out quite a bit more, it looks like, from here. I took out almost 1.2 exahash. So I think some of these miners that are in this batch are going to be potentially from here, right? I'm in Mawson. Okay, I just want to double check. So some of these might be, I'm guessing maybe the Avalons here are going to be moved over, and then these, let's see if we can do this. We need to get them to 500. Well, part of these are going to be moved over to their own facility here. That might be transitioning over. So that might increase their hash rate in November, this year. Yeah, this month. I'm getting confused. Okay. Too much information. And institution-wise, surprisingly, institutions actually decreased to 28, but the number of shares increased to 10.6 million from 6.8. That is a sizable increase. Percentage owned by institutions is now 12.34%. We still have the same buy rating, and price target actually went down for the high, average, and low to $2. So that's where we're kind of sitting at right now. With that, and let's take a look at potential of where they could be. Now that the price is coming way down here, we have them at potentially, as I think it's going to come down, around 3 million for their self-mining in Q4. They had 5.9 reported in Q3. Q2 was 16.2 and Q1 was 19.4. So pretty sizable decrease here just in the last couple quarters. We know Bitcoin has come down quite a bit substantially as well, but they're also not mining as much as they possibly could because of energy credits they're getting for that. Okay, so we're looking at a total combined of 44 million, 50% net income from gross revenue. We're looking at $5.39 if they get a P of 20 and Bitcoin starts going back up. Right now they are trading at, let's see what they're trading at right now. They are trading at around a PE of 1 point something currently. And then if we go to 75% net income from gross revenue, that'd be around 40 cents. And given to where they're going to be, I'd say maybe at a 15 PE when the stock price starts going back up and Bitcoin goes back up, that could be around $4.04 to $6.06. It's kind of where I would envision them being at. But they can also go up higher depending on where Bitcoin goes. Okay, now, so we covered this minor grades. I think we did this on, was it Saturday's video or Friday's video? I can't remember. But at that time, they didn't provide their information, so I left them out. And just to show you guys where they actually stacked up now that the information has been provided to us. So Mawson came in for month-over-month percentage hash rate growth. They're down 69%, so that's not good. They're still at the bottom two here, along Sphere 3D, because we're still waiting on Sphere to provide theirs. But they're at the tail end here. As far as BTC per petahash, we're looking at Mawson being here now, just slightly below CleanSpark and ahead of DMG. And then month-over-month BTC mine percentage, we're looking at Mawson being down 48%. So towards the end here, BTC mined also towards the end, third to the last here at 53. And then BTC mined per 1 million shares. Mawson came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the, so what is that going to be? 11th spot, I believe. Since we have 16 miners, I think that would get them at the 11th spot right there at 0.64 BTC per 1 million shares outstanding. Overall scores for them, they came in second to last, Mawson. And then we won't go over the individual metrics, and I think that's it. So, in conclusion, I think we are still far, far away. I don't know how far away, but I'm saying far, far away. But in reality, we're still not at the bottom yet, unfortunately. I would have hoped that we would have been close to the bottom, but we're not there yet. We could continue to slide down with Bitcoin, with the miners for the next couple months. Maybe once we get into the new year, things start picking up a little bit, but we'll see. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can tell what that's going to be like. But I am thinking that once we get closer to the BTC halving event, things are going to start picking back up. They have to. I mean, if the miners don't, right now their cost of Bitcoin to mine is around 9,000 on average. You need Bitcoin to be at least at 9,000 or above for these miners to be profitable. So if you cut the amount they're getting half, plus the difficulty increases in hash rate, you really need the Bitcoin price to be probably closer to 25, 30,000 at that point when that happens, if not higher, for these miners to still be profitable, I would think. Okay, so battle down the hatches. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and if you can, dollar cost average into this bear market. Like I said, we've seen this before with Hive, with other companies as well. After the bull runs, the bear markets are painful, and it is not easy watching your investments going down and down and down. But the prudent thing is to dollar cost average in, and then we'll see how things end up in a year and a half. We'll go from there. Okay, so that is it. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. Thank you everyone there for their continued support. Love you all for watching. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a short week, I think, also because I think the market's going to be closed Thursday and Friday because we got Thanksgiving this week. So it's going to be a short week, and then we'll see what we can talk about possibly on Friday. Probably won't do anything on Thursday for a video, but I'll see if I'm bored or something like that. Okay, so that's it. Hope you guys have a great one. Have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.